Yes, I know the animation looks bad, but just hear me out on this one, guys. Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video from me, Pickles Park Reviews. Now today, I'm going to be reviewing the first episode of Daleks! The animated series featuring, well, the Daleks that premiered on YouTube around 40 minutes ago. I only literally just finished watching it. It's about 13 minutes long, and it's all linked in with Time Lord Victorious. Now, I've never really delved into anything to do with Time Lord Victorious. I'm actually going to do a separate video explaining my thoughts and feelings towards Time Lord Victorious, but let's just say, just as kind of like a disclaimer for this video, I haven't delved into any of it. So if there's parts in this that actually links into Time Lord Victorious that I don't really mention, it's because I'm unaware. So if you watching this have noticed that I've missed out on something, then please put it down in the comments, because I'd be really interested to hear it. The main thing about this project, and what mainly people were going into it with trepidation, was the animation. And yeah, the animation is really bad. I mean, it just is. It looks like a PS2 game, and it is actually very distracting when the animation is this bad. And it's not so much the character models, like the Daleks themselves or the other people in this story. It's not so much them, although they don't look amazing. They still look pretty decent. For me, it's mainly the environments that look really bad. There's this scene where you've got some Daleks decimating what looks like a city, and the actual landscape looks like just blue blocks with no detail. It literally looks like something you have got off of a mobile game. And the surfaces, the floors are all one matte solid colour. It is kind of just kind of off-putting. When you're watching it, it is kind of distracting because it does look so bad. And I know people say it's free, so you can't really criticise that. There's loads of good Dalek animations on YouTube for free. I don't really think it's an excuse, even if it wasn't going to be Pixar level. But ultimately, I still think the animation could have been better than what it is. It looks like, you know, when you see on YouTube, you've got all the cutscenes of a video game just kind of like gelled together to make an epic movie. I've actually got a DVD, I think, of Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes Unite or something. Essentially the cutscenes from that game put on a DVD that was officially released. It just reminds me of that. It just looks like cutscenes from a video game. Though, to be fair, at least this animation is better than Doctor Who Return to Earth. Jesus. Yeah, the animation is quite distracting and it isn't great. If you weren't a fan of the animation, judging by the trailers, then it's not really going to change your opinion on this. However, I would get the animation out first, because I know that's what most people are going to be going into this thinking about. This is the main thing people were thinking about going into this project, and they're going in with negativity. I just wanted to address it first, because that's my main criticism with it. That's what most people have been expecting me to address first. And there, I addressed it. The animation isn't great. But I'm now going to talk about the story, because, as I alluded to in my intro, I actually think that despite the animation, and I understand if the animation is very distracting, but I think that if you can ignore that and if you can get past that, I really would like people to give this a chance, because it is actually really good. It's only 13 minutes long. However, something I think this really gets right is just the Daleks. I think this really pins down the Daleks. They are ruthless in this, gunning people down. There's a really epic scene at the very beginning where all of a sudden a Dalek ship comes out of nowhere, almost like it's come from hyperspeed, like in Star Wars, and then it just releases all these Daleks, and they're just firing at everyone. There's a cool scene where a black Dalek shoots laser out of the Dalek gun, and it just goes all the way in and just kills this guy. It's really actually quite cool. And then when you see all the hordes of Daleks coming out of this ship and going down to the planet and decimating it, it really just emphasizes how ruthless the Daleks can be. And they are ruthless in this, as I said. They decimate everyone. Also, they are really intimidating, not just by the fact of how many people they kill, but also you see the Emperor Dalek. Now, I really like the design of the Emperor Dalek. It's clearly modelled off of the Emperor Dalek that I believe was in the comics, around John Poe's tenure. I believe this Emperor Dalek may have featured. I could be wrong on that, but I know it was in the comics at some point. And yeah, it's got a massive dome for a head, like a massive sphere just on top of it. And does it look impractical? Yes, but it does look really cool, and I really like that level of detail. Nicholas Briggs is brilliant. The voice he gives to the Emperor Dalek is really booming, really intimidating. And yeah, the Emperor Dalek is really cool. But my favourite Dalek is the strategist. No, not the blue paradigm from Victory of the Daleks. No, this one, it looks fairly similar to a Planet Dalek in terms of its physique, just a bit rusty. But ultimately, I really like the delivery Nicholas Briggs gave it. It's a lot less booming, but much more sly and intelligent, and much more in terms of a bit more emotional. And this Dalek seems much more scheming, more intelligent, as I said. And yeah, Nicholas Briggs gives a brilliant performance as this Dalek. And I really like the philosophy of the Daleks in this. How they're scheming, they're cunning, they're conjuring up plans. They're trying to get into this archive, and there's these 3 robots who were built to protect the archive at all cost. So the Daleks essentially conjure up the plan of, well, they need to protect the archive at all costs. They're not going to surrender it. But what if we threaten to destroy the archive unless they give it to us? Then they'd have to give them the archive in order to have it survive. What the Daleks didn't know is that a portal actually opened up on their world, and a race came in and offered them sanctuary in exchange for something. So the Daleks are essentially destroying an empty planet. They all went through the portal and saved, including all the contents of the archive. And then the Daleks come in expecting to see the archive, find that it's gone, and the robots reveal that ultimately what the race wanted was the Daleks, and then the Daleks are kind of taken at the end. It's really cool. It's a really cool twist, actually. I like the fact that the Daleks thought they were manipulating them, but they were actually manipulating the Daleks. I think that's actually really cool, and how the Daleks were tricked. And ultimately, it doesn't make the Daleks look like idiots, because they also had a really good plan beforehand. It just shows the weaknesses of the Daleks as well. I think the direction is quite good in this. There are some weird bits of direction, like when you've got the Daleks just looking at the camera and then they'll move towards the camera, and it's like a PS2 game. It's like a really bad video game cutscene, and they'll just keep on going towards the camera. Oh, Jesus, that did not do well for my eyes going into that phone with that flash, Jesus. Yeah, those parts are a bit weird, but there are some really nice shots. There's a nice shot towards the end where the Emperor Dalek is going off the Dalek ship, and it's just kind of moving towards, and then you've got all the Daleks either side, and ultimately that's really cool. It's a really imposing shot, and the music, which is really nice electronic score there, it makes them look really intimidating, so that's great. So the direction can be a bit iffy, but there's also some really nice shots there, and the music is actually quite cool. But overall, I would say give this a chance. It's only 13 minutes long, and ultimately I really enjoyed it. I think it really characterised the Daleks great. Nicholas Briggs gives a brilliant vocal performance. I think there's some nice twists and turns in there. The plot is quite interesting, and it has a nice twist ending as well. As I said, it's free. It's only 13 minutes, so I'd go check it out. And I think in terms of story, they've done a good job. Animation, less so. The animation is very bad and could be quite distracting. I did find it quite distracting to begin with and throughout, to be honest. But if you can get past the animation, I'd really recommend checking it out, because ultimately I really enjoyed it. But yes, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and drop us up, hit that notification bell to stay notified for all my latest videos. Yeah, I'm not gonna become a news Doctor YouTuber who only covers recent stuff and gets their videos out straight away after the news, because honestly 2 videos in 2 days has been getting quite knackering, to be quite honest with you. But to be honest, I just wanted to do this because I thought it would be pretty interesting to check out, especially as I haven't delved into Time of Victoria stuff yet, so I thought, why not delve into this and see what it's like, especially as there's never really been a Dalek TV show before. Terry Nation was trying to get off the ground back in the 60s, but it's never actually happened, and this is probably the closest we're going to get at the moment. So I wanted to check it out, and ultimately I'd recommend it. Yes, thank you guys for watching, and of course, goodbye. Exterminate. I'm so happy.